Welcome back, everyone, to the New York Giants franchise here at Madden NFL 22. We're in Season 4 after a Super Bowl win over the New York Jets. We had a relatively successful draft compared to, our draft position at the very back end of each and every single round. Preseason action, you got the Bengals. We ended up getting a loss against them. The Browns, we get a win. And the Denver Broncos, we'll have to see what happens here. And as we simulate here preseason week, and that's another loss for us. So we end the preseason with one win, but that doesn't really matter at this point. We're just trying to get our guys a lot of action and get used to some of these guys that are fighting for positional depth. See our running backs here. We got Brightwell, we got Stephen Noel, a guy that we drafted a few seasons ago. And I'm actually going to be cutting cap space here with Gary Brightwell. So I don't utilize him very often in gameplay, and I know that he would be a kind of a guy that steps in if either Sarek Martin or Barkley gets hurt. Depends on what he's going to do, if he's going to end up being an RB2. But we end up moving another guy to practice squad, and then moving Sarek Martin obviously is the number 2, and then of course Stephen Noel will be our number 3 back. We're going to carry 3 running backs. Lamar Jackson, as much as you call him a quarterback, he's basically kind of like a running back too, so you can design running plays for him. He's obviously a good quarterback. I'm not slighting Lamar Jackson, but you guys know what I mean here. Right tackle, Roderick Flemings will be our starter. After moving on from Matthew Pert last season, you got Beasley, Pollard. I go on and on about those guys up the middle. You've also got Dennis Winston taking the middle linebacker job. We got Josie Jewell going to be one of our outside linebackers, as we do like to run a bit of 3-4. So those linebackers are going to be a focal point again for us this season. Plus, we've got Cam Brown, who's going to be a focal point for us on the outside. You got Azeez Ojulari. It's a really good defense. It's a solid defense. I like what we've been able to establish. Obviously, the main question for this defense now going into year number 4 is the secondary. It's going to be the cornerback group. I have no doubts about the pass rush. I have no worries about that at all. Linebackers, probably the second weakest group on the defensive side. Safeties, I'm happy with our safety group with Xavier McKinney and Jabril Peppers back there. I'm good there. It's just cornerbacks. You got Stephon Gilmore, big signee from free agency last season, plus JoJo Carter now moving up to the number 2 spot. We'll see how he does. I think he's going to be able to hold himself to a high standard and a high level of competitive play. But we're going to go all the way to week number 8. So I simulated to the mid-season point of year number 4. And again, as this season is kind of getting on to be a back burner series on this channel, trying to make room for some new things that are coming to the channel, try to get this thing wrapped up by the beginning of March, which is only in a couple days. We are currently sitting at 3-4. So this football team, for whatever reason, has really not come together as we have in the past. But, it's kind of like a regular Giants type of season. Now, last season we went 15-2, I believe, so we had a ton of success. But this year with some changes, of course, as I mentioned, defensively we've had some changes. Offensively, not a lot of change. Just a couple of depth players that have gone missing. We've made some decisions there. J.C. Treader only allowing 1 sack through the 7 games that have been played, so he's been obviously a really good O-lineman for us. As you guys see the statistics here, Fleming's allowing 3 sacks. You got Thomas with 2, 1 for Treader. So, 6 sacks given up in 7 weeks. That's really good. That's really elite level play, if I'm being honest. Plus, obviously with Lamar Jackson, and we like to run the football, they're not getting a lot of opportunities to bring him down since he is such a mobile quarterback. But up on your screen, you're seeing our sack totals here. You're seeing interceptions. You got Gilmore. You got Josie Jewell with a pick each. Forced fumbles, we'll take a look at that as well. Catches allowed. This is an interesting statistic as well as we scroll down here just to see basically, how's our guys in coverage doing, right? So we got Xavier McKinney with 11 catches allowed. JoJo Carter has allowed, I think, 16? Yeah, it's got to be 16. The next number is 18. Could be 15. Can't really see that. But Evan McPherson not doing too bad himself. Passing leaders, Russell Wilson, Gardner Minshew is out in Tampa Bay. You got Cash Fortuna up here, a rookie. Now with that Andy Reid system there in Washington, Jordan Love, Derek Carr. That's actually surprising that Jordan Love's up there. But you got a couple customs. You got Niaz Williams, Declan Delaney's up there. Tito Ramos, nice to see him having a pretty solid season. 13 touchdowns and 7 picks, so nothing to write home about, but he's doing all right. Daniel Letterman there. You saw Tua Tagovailoa there for Indianapolis, so yeah, he's having a good season out there for Indy. You've also had the quarterback, I believe, Jordan Spriggs, last name Spriggs, another custom prospect there. 12 touchdowns, no picks, no interceptions, so he's been very, very efficient for the Pittsburgh Steelers, so they've got their answer. As a young quarterback there. You see Joe Burrow, of course, with Baltimore now, which is a very, very interesting storyline to say the least. But we got Ragnar Thorson here for the Rams. You got Porter Burnside, a couple custom prospects there. Lambeau Ferrari, one of the top receivers here as far as yards go. He's got 5 touchdowns as well, about 81 yards on average. Having a good season. He's up there with the likes of Terry McLaurin, Stephon Diggs, Mike Evans. Yeah, he's not doing too bad, guys. Not doing too bad. Here's another one, Blaze Killings. 441 yards to his credit with 2 touchdowns on the season. Colby Parson, no touchdowns. That's kind of surprising for a guy like Colby Parson, but I'm sure that they'll get it going. There's Mitchell Simmons there as well. Now, defensively, I like to cover just a few things. Defensive stats, there's a lot of them. A lot of them that are very important, but tackles, total tackles, Dalton Jett, one of the top tacklers in the league. You got Daryl Johnson up here, another custom prospect. This is really what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for customs at this point. A couple guys that obviously real players like Jabril, Deion Jones, Marshawn Lattimore is up there as a cornerback. So it's kind of cool to see that JoJo Carter and Marshawn Lattimore, 2 guys that like to get in, like to be able to tackle, are definitely being productive in that sense. You got Michael Kreutz. Now, that's a player for Green Bay that I remember from, I think it was year 1 or year 2, we were really debating on whether or not we were going to draft that guy as a defensive end. He's really turning into a nice player for them. 11 sacks so far. You got Sheldon Dinkelberg that was drafted at the very top of the draft order, if I'm remembering correctly. He's got about 7, I think the number was. So it's been a good showing for these custom prospects the more that we're looking into this stuff. So it's kind of cool to see how they're progressing and being big time players in the league the more that we go on. Latham Gringlas, another guy here, custom player, 4.5 sacks for him. So just nice to see those guys having some success. All right, moving on out here to the NFL standings. The Jets are repeating their number 1 seed from last year. They're the number 1 team across the NFL right now, and it's a little bit of a logjam. You got a ton of teams that are 3-4. Like, look at this. Look at this. There's 20. We're all the way down to the 26th slot here with the Colts at 3-4. It's a logjam. It's a logjam right in the middle. So literally anything can happen here. Everybody's still in it pretty much halfway through the season. Now, we've kind of been on a little bit of a skid here offensively. Back-to-back scores with 10 points with 30-plus given up against Washington and Green Bay. And then the Cowboys, we scored 20 but gave up 31. So therefore, that's a loss. Now, at this point, we're going to go week by week, and I'm going to show you guys there at upper left there, week 8 against the Eagles. We beat them, but it was by a slim margin. We advanced to 4-4. We're going to simulate here to week 9. And I should have told you guys this before we got into this. This is going to be a simulation of year number 4. We're going to get ourselves into the playoffs, possibly. There's no guarantees of that, but it looks like we're kind of picking our season back up. We're 6-4 right now. Going to be hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Romeo Reyes could upgrade his dev trait here with a good game. And taking a look here after those 3 straight losses, we've really picked it up. We've got 35-14 win, 37-18 win. Defense is stepping it up, guys. Down here with 14 and 18 points, 24 points given up. That should give you wins in the NFL. If you can have that good defensive performance like that should really help you. But Dallas, they're a good team. We ended up beating them 38-35, so we're gonna take that win. But field goal margin, yeah, you take that. So Romeo Reyes apparently did not get his star dev to increase, just did not meet the requirements in order to do that in simulation, but that's fine. That's fine. We also get a win here over the Bengals. 27-24, I believe, is the final score there. We're actually going to just auto-upgrade everybody here. Not too worried about those guys. Seem like bench players plus Paul Andrews. I hope. I thinking about this after I recorded it. Probably should have just focused on, upgrading his route running ability, because that's really what he struggles at. Something that he's trying to work on to become a more complete receiver. But we are now 8-4 at the top of the NFL, or one of the top teams, I should say, as far as the NFL goes, standings wise. And looking at these standings here, the Lions are 1-10. My Lions, man, 4-game losing streak. They were 1-6 at that point before losing 4 straight, so that stinks. But we're 8-4, Eagles 7-4, Cowboys 9-3. This is a big game between us and Washington, coming off of a bye week. It's absolutely huge. If we can get this win, we can pretty much stay in the race with those Cowboys, but we get a loss. So Cash Fortuna, the rookie quarterback, and that Andy Reid system, that custom prospect, he beat us. We'll take a look at the box score of that game in just a moment, as well as this game here, this win over the Atlanta Falcons. Both Letterman bros. Yeah, the Letterman bros. Daniel Letterman, the quarterback, and Liad Letterman, wide receiver, coming over from Chicago through free agency. He ended up signing with his brother here with Atlanta. But so far, we're in the playoff picture right now. We're the 5 seed. Washington, with that W against us, vaults themselves up into the playoff picture as well. So 3 teams currently in the NFC East in the postseason. And then we get a loss here against the Carolina Panthers, which does not help us at all. The football team get a win here, and now we're tied currently. We're both 9-6, 8-7 49ers. So even despite the loss, we just swap places here. So we're now the 7 seed versus what we were as the 5. We swap places there with Washington. And let's take a look at those box scores before we actually get into some gameplay against the 49ers. We got 2 weeks left. 2 weeks left, guys. This is a must-win game. And as you saw with the thumbnail and the title, it's a new year, but it's the same thing going on with us. Same situation with us. But look at Fortuna, man. 355, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Extremely efficient today against our secondary, against our defense. And he even chipped in a couple rushing yards there too. So Fortuna's going to be a problem in this Andy Reid offense for quite some time. And the more that we do these types of simulations, you're going to see that. He's going to be a really good player for this football team. No pun intended there. I literally mean football team, not the name. Tackles for losses here. You got Lawrence and Pollard getting into the mix. Sacks, you got DJ Wanham. And Dennis Winston also got a sack here as well. No picks, no interceptions to speak about. But this is a really good win over Atlanta. They're kind of a mediocre team at this point. They're not really looking to make the playoffs at this point, but 3 touchdowns here for Saquon. Did you guys see that? 147 yards and 3 touchdowns today. So we were really killing them on the ground. Tony chipped in, got a touchdown himself. We've got Alejandro Reyes with a catch. So it's nice to see. I want to see him get more involved. I know he's like the number 5 guy at this point. So, we'll see next season what his role is going to look like. I'm sure at this point, I'm not sure where we're at with Kenny Galladay's contract. How much money he's going to ask for, but I'm sure we'll be vaulting and moving guys up as we see fit. Darius Slayton might end up being the number 1 guy next season if Galladay's contract is up. So Cowboys currently getting the Y, right? 12-3. They're the best team in the league at this point. 474 points of offense. Like, they have a really good offense. We have a good offense too. 416 points. We're 60 points back. So we'd be beating out everybody in the NFC West as far as points for. But if you guys are taking a look at the standings here, it's kind of a logjam at this point. The Bears are still in the mix. The Vikings still in the mix at 8-7. There's a lot of things happening here in the NFC. It's going to be a very tight battle. So, we got to win this game. We got to win this game in San Francisco. Remember, last season, we had to get a W over Trey Lance's 49ers. On the road, we're going to go back out to San Francisco in a must-win scenario. You guys can see the updated sliders. So I am using Matt 10's sliders as an update here, and hopefully it'll provide a little bit more difficult of an experience. I know people have started to say that this series has kind of lost interest for him because it was a little too easy and the Giants are winning too much, but it's like, I don't know what else to do. I want to play the game. We win all the time though. It's tough. It's and how do you get credit for that? You put a good team together, and And you want to be able to take credit for it, right? Well, anyway, so updated sliders, so it should be a little more difficult. We'll see. We'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens, guys. But let's get this thing underway. We got the 49ers and the Giants. Obviously, a well-documented rivalry on the NFC side of things. If not, you guys can go look it up. 49ers-Giants rivalry. A lot of playoff positioning has been determined with these two teams, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing in this season as well. Happened last year, happened this year. We'll see who comes out on top to push themselves into that playoff picture. Currently, we are in the playoff picture. The 49ers are trying to get there, trying to get into that consideration. So here's a nice play there defensively. Trey Lance just trying to float that thing right over top, and he does here with Deebo Samuel, and JoJo Carter was trying his best to get position on him to pick it off, but that was no dice for Mr. JoJo Carter. 3rd down and 10. Lance got to scramble, got to roll out to the left, and giving chase is Romeo Reyes. He tackles him for only a couple yards to gain. Romeo Reyes keeping up with Trey Lance. Lance is mobile. Romeo Reyes, the big body. That's kind of impressive there. So we settle them for a field goal. 3-0. Lamar Jackson, 20 touchdowns, 9 picks. Having kind of a better year passing now that he's out of my control. You know, obviously I throw. It's not a GG9 episode with football unless there's an interception thrown. Am I right? Right. Well, Lamar Jackson completes his pass to Kenny Golladay. We get a first down here. We get another first down from the 38 to the 49. That's a good gain there by Lamar. 2nd down and 6. Little play action here. The rush is coming a little bit, but near the midfield logo, the throw almost intercepted, but woof, tight window throw here to Caden Smith. He makes the catch. 2nd down and 11. We're going to go to Saquon, but a good play there. Little deflection there in coverage. So 3rd down and 11, and then this pass going to be completed on the out route, the big out route. That's a long out route, but Evan Ingram going to make that catch at the sidelines, and it is at the 1-yard line where Saquon will rush it in, get the ball right over the goal line, right over the white goal line. Yep, take one more look. The ball didn't cross the goal line. It was over the goal line, which therefore it is a touchdown. That's the start of the end zone. It is what it is. So 7-3, G-Men. Play action here. Another big hit by Romeo Reyes. He has been on Trey Lance in this game. Keep it up, Romeo. Keep it up, Romeo. Now we got him user control there. See if we can get to him again. And a little spin move there. Looks like he was going to go get him again. But here's Kareem Hunt. Like, guys, just, can we tackle him, please? Thank gosh. Dude, we finally tackled the dude. 7-6 as this field goal is up and good. Had some more room to spare. Either way, they're inching ever closer. Start of the 2nd quarter. Pass completed here to Darius Slayton. He turns the corner, and a little juke here. Can't get past his man, but he gets down to the 15. Let's go to the 14-yard line. So 1-yard gain on 1st and 10. Can be 2nd and 9. Another 1-yard gain here for Saquon. 3rd down and 8, and then just wide open. Wide open across the hash marks into the touchdown. That is Evan Ingram. I mean, you guys can't. You just gave it to us on a silver platter right there. They brought the safety down to take to the underneath, and rest is history, man. So really good play there by Evan Ingram and Lamar Jackson. Even more incredible play. Deion Beasley busting through the line. Little swim move. Going to take down his running back there for a loss of yards. They will make it to 3rd down and 8. Trey Lance, again, running for his life. Not going to get the first down. So let's jump here to the next possession here for the Giants. Saquon Barkley going to get the first down, and that was kind of a little bit of a late hit there, but you know, he's thinking, man, I'm getting overworked in this game. The running game for the Giants until that run right there was just really has not been effective at all. So we were kind of lucky that we got that first down there. At 3rd down and 10, and here's Sarek Martin when he's going to utilize his blockers here. That's a really nice run. Oh, he bowls over Bill Stevens, another custom prospect there. Take a look. They got the camera right on him. Yeah, you got to be feeling that right here, Bill. Yeah, Sarek Martin just laying the boomstick on him. 10-yard line. He's going to pick up a 6. 3rd down and 2 situation. Barkley going to get the toss, and we got lead blockers out in front. Saquon makes a dive at the end zone. He's in. That's another touchdown for the G-Men. It's now 21-6. Next possession for us. Another screen pass here on 1st and 10. We got one timeout left. If you hurry up, you know, Madden is going to Madden. Going to run out of time, so why not just let the clock run, kick a field goal, go into halftime, up 24-16, an 18-point lead. And I think I like our chances. 18 points is a very hard number to come back from in the second half, pending any turnovers or just sloppy play. Hopefully that doesn't happen for us. But in a must-win game for the Eagles, they drop it. Darius Mackey with 2 interceptions. Daniel Letterman was great, over 300 yards. Efficient numbers as well. Cash Fortuna and those Washington football teamers, he went for over 350 and 4 touchdowns, but it just wasn't enough to take down the Browns. And so Washington, they got to be hoping for a lot of help at this point. They could make the playoffs with some help, but that loss definitely doesn't help their cause for sure. But it's up to us now to get a win here, because again, we got a job to do. But this isn't helpful, guys. So can we tackle George Kittle here, please, for the love of God? Good Lord. 1st and 10. Kyle Juszczyk, 1st down. Oh man, Xavier McKinney was the last line of defense there to make a tackle. He finally does, and he gets dropped down here. So here is a toss play. They're going to try to match us with the toss into the end zone. Doesn't happen. Very stiff defense here by the Giants. Here's Trey Lance. Little check down, little throw here to George Kittle. They get down to the 1, so it's a tough decision time now. Do you go for it, or do you kick the field goal? And they're going to elect to kick the field goal. So it's going to be a 15-point game at this point, which, I mean, you can kind of go either way with it. Either you go for it and you miss, and now you're kind of screwed. But 24-9, you know, it's a 15-point game. It doesn't look like it's close. You got 2 digits up on the scoreboard, 2 and 4, and then a 9. It's like, man, this is a blowout. But in reality, it's only 2 scores. It's a touchdown, and then it's a touchdown and a 2-point. So really, it's closer than you think, and especially after this stop and then this big gain by Aiden Linder, it's getting San Francisco back in this football game. We're still in the 3rd quarter. And then this catch to the right by Donovan Peoples-Jones. Yeah, San Francisco's making a charge here. We got to get ourselves prepared for a touchdown to give up. I don't like this. Let's make a stop here, guys. 24-9, and ooh, good stop there. 1st and goal. That's not going to get the job done, though. We got Pollard moving in, Beasley. Yeah, both those defensive tackles out there on the play. Touchdown here. But look at the pickup there by Sarek Martin, allowing the deep bomb. Looking for Darius Slayton there. Couldn't hook up. And then we got a holding call, potentially. Looks like a holding call here. This is going to be a nice run for Saquon. But what a pickup, by the way. I'm going to go back to, even though it was an incomplete pass, it's an incompletion. It's a loss of down at that point, right? It's not a sack. It could have easily been a sack. That was a great pickup by Sarek Martin. But on 2nd down and 20, it's going to be 3rd down and 11, and Lamar is just going to have to roll out. We're going to be looking for the same play here, but look at, that's Kadarius Toney out there. He was gone. That was a touchdown had he not just stepped out of bounds. Look at that, just the speed. And he beats his man. Look at on the corner, just turning it upfield. I love it. I love that. And then the throw, leading the speedy receiver across the field to pick up that huge play here. But here's Alejandro Reyes picks up the 1st down. Nice. Newhouse with the tackle, and then here's Saquon Barkley with the moves into the end zone. Another touchdown for Saquon. That's number 3 on the game. He's having a heck of a season this year, guys, and I will update you at the very end of this whole thing to let you know exactly how he did. You will be amazed at how he did. I think it's a record. I'm just going to say that right now. I think it's a record. We got a fumble here. 31-16 game, and Kareem Hunt fumbles the football. Jabril Peppers delivers the big knock. And then on 3rd down and 8, Lamar Jackson firing to the end zone, looking for Kenny G. Touchdown, Giants. Kenny Galladay in the end zone is something special, man. He's a beast. Look one more time at the play. There's the thumbnail for you guys. You knew it had to show up at some point. Well, there it was. I think you guys knew it was coming. Those guys that are sneaky with the thumbnails, you know when and where those thumbnails are come from. Lamar Jackson gets a win. Good game by him. No turnovers by him, by the way, guys. So, I don't know. Were the sliders more difficult? It didn't feel like it. 290 plus yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 17 to 20 for Trey Lance, over 100 yards here for Saquon. Actually, just 100. A clean, cool 100 plus 3 touchdowns for him. You got really good game receiving for all of our guys. You got Alejandro Reyes with 2 catches here in this one. Aiden Linder only with 1. No sacks allowed by our guys either, too. So, yeah, we had a really dominating performance. I'm impressed with how we played here today, especially with those sliders that were supposed to be more difficult. So I got to continue to tweak, guys. Unless you know of some out there that are still watching this, if you know of some slider sets that I should probably want to use, make it really difficult on us, especially for the playoffs, I'm more than open to hearing those. So you let me know what you got. But a win over New Orleans, and we've effectively punched our ticket to the postseason. We're going to be taking on the LA Rams to start off the playoffs in the NFC. I'll give you guys a quick snapshot here at the end of the video of what the playoff tree looks like. But take a look at Saquon Barkley's numbers, guys. 1,600 yards rushing and 24 touchdowns. He's never had half of that. He's never gotten to 12. Highest he's ever gotten is 11. And he doubled that. He more than doubled that this season. 24 touchdowns on the ground. I got to look that up. I think that's a record for rushing touchdowns in a single season. I could be wrong. But my goodness, what an incredible year. Receiving numbers have definitely gone down in the last 2 seasons with this more run-based offense that since we've got Lamar Jackson here. But that's, we've had over 800-yard receivers here on this team, on this roster. So I can't really say that they weren't productive. In this offense especially, I think I would consider them productive. Romeo Reyes with 8 sacks on the season, or tackles for losses, I should say. That's where we're sorted on. My bad. Devon Roundtree, yeah, nice job there as the rookie. So again, he's going to be more that backup rusher. We got Romeo Reyes here now. Dexter Lawrence is obviously still a focal point of this offense. So I think we made the right call to let go of Leonard Williams. We were able to spend that money at cornerback, something that we really needed to spend money on. And Stephon Gilmore was a good player for us this season, especially in that backfield. It caused some stability for us. Jojo Carter didn't have to be the cornerback number 1 this season. I don't think he was ready for it. It's like a 74, 78 overall cornerback. Yeah, so he definitely was not ready for that. So it's just good to see that, this defense really came together this year to push us to the playoffs. But here is the end of season statistics for the league in Cash Fortuna. 38 touchdowns, a bunch of yards. He led the NFL in passing yards this season. You got Jordan Love up there, Delaney, Darius Mackey. You got Fields, Prescott, Winston, Niaz, Williams, and then, of course, Matthew Stafford, who we're going to be playing against, Jamari Greenwood. Tito Ramos, I think, is up there somewhere. There he is, right behind Mac Jones. 28 touchdowns, 11 picks. So he really turned his season around. And fortunately for those Detroit Lions, they're still struggling, man. They're still struggling. But Daniel Letterman, not too impressive this season. So, they got to get back to the drawing board to get him going. Rushing yards-wise, Derrick Henry went over 2K this season. He had 22 touchdowns, but Saquon with 24 was just an incredible season with 1,600 yards. Just awesome to see him come back this year from year number 3, having that knee cartilage tear. Again, couldn't use him in the postseason. He had to come in the Super Bowl. That's when he was finally healthy and ready to play, was when the Super Bowl hit. So you had to get there in order to use him. So I'm glad that we were able to. Definitely helped us win that football game over the Jets. Receiving numbers, Mike Evans, Hopkins, here's Parson with 2 touchdowns. So he ends the season with 2 touchdowns. That if you took Colby Parson in fantasy, it really hurt you this season. But look, man, Lambo Ferrari and Tito Ramos, it's going to be a special connection here for Detroit if they can keep them. So good on you. Good on you there, Tito Ramos and Lambo Ferrari. I like what I'm seeing there. Casey Carson almost got the 1,000-yard marker as a receiver. You always want to hit that. Just couldn't quite get there. Came a couple yards short. Maybe needed one more game to get there. Dalton Jett, tackling machine. Daryl Johnson, tackle machine. Mike Liddell, tackle machine. So the Lions had this team not win a bunch of games this season. Maybe next year is going to be their year. I'm going to be watching for that, definitely. Devin Bush, Foreman III, Geno Stone, Deion Jones, Derwin James. Obviously, the normal names that pop up here. Nick Bolton. Always been a Nick Bolton guy out there from Missouri, man. Now, JoJo Carter is the only cornerback up here. He had 104 tackles, guys. He was getting in on it as the number 2 cornerback. So using that speed to tackle the running back or getting tackles in the short field and short space. Love it. Love to see it. Tackles for losses, you got Gringlas and Dingleberg. I think those guys were year 1 prospects that were custom players. Definitely custom players. It gets confusing from time to time to figure out where they were. Like what season were they when they got drafted. But yeah, they're making a name for themselves here. Dinkelberg again getting shown up in the sacks column. You got Gringlas here, Shannon Harper, Zadarius Smith. We got Quinn Williams, Josh Allen, Eric Kendricks. Yeah, just the usual names, guys. Now, the ones that I haven't seen a lot of is like Rock Ya-Sin, Dre Greenshaw, Broderick, another custom player there. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, man. I really wanted the Lions to draft him out of Florida a couple seasons ago, but nope. I gotta remember what draft that was. I think it was that the Hawkinson draft or the Okudah draft. I think it was the Hawkinson draft. We could have drafted Chauncey Gardner-Johnson a little bit later, but yeah, just goofy things from Bob Quinn. Coach of the Year, Arthur Smith. Got to see where the Jets ended up as far as standings go. I think they got the number 1 seed again, but Defensive Player of the Year, Chase Young in the NFC. Cash Fortuna, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Didn't see another custom prospect there in the NFC for offense, but defensively, again, I don't see any rookies there for us. Best quarterback, Sam Darnold. Now, I didn't mention that Sam Darnold won the MVP. Now, you want to know how you know this is a Madden sim? Sam Darnold wins the MVP. Best defensive lineman, Chase Young. You had Khalil Mack showing up. Best defensive back, the Dallas Cowboy. And we're going to go to the AFC, I think, now, as we want to see Offensive Player of the Year, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Mahomes, Najee Harris, TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year, Jayon Brown. Jayon Brown was in a lot of statistical leading categories there, like tackles for losses, tackles. He was a nice player for the Titans. Travis Ashfall, tight end for Offensive Rookie of the Year, one of the finalists. Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback, best running back, obviously Derrick Henry. Brandon Cooks, best wide receiver. I'd vote for him for like comeback player of the year at that point. Linebackers, TJ Watts, Derwin James, best defensive back, and then we recycle the list, guys. So here is your NFL playoffs snapshot, your playoff tree for 2024. We're going to be taking on the LA Rams. The MVP, Sam Darnold, going to be taking on Cash Fortuna. And then we got Green Bay and Chicago in the wild card. So that is going to be a crazy game, man. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be in Chicago. I don't know how they did this on the... Oh, no, it's going to be in Green Bay. That's a dumb comment. It's going to be in Green Bay. They're the higher seed. Come on, Goldie. Get with it. Higher seed's going to host it, I believe. So, yeah, we got Giants, Rams, I almost said Redskins, football team against the Panthers, Bears against the Packers, and that is going to, that determines on who the Cowboys are going to play. It's going to be one of the lower seeds that wins, I believe. And then you've got the Browns, the Ravens. So interesting, no Bengals. I would really like to see Ravens and Bengals with the Joe Burrow thing going on. So Burrow is no longer a Bengal in this sim. He's moved on to Baltimore, led him to the playoffs now. And we got another custom prospect out there as receiver Gavin Goddard. So I want to see, the Ravens make it all the way. Maybe if the Giants can make it again, we can see Gavin Goddard in a Super Bowl. What's with these wide receivers that we're seeing? We got Colby Parson for the Jets. We got Gavin Goddard. It's crazy. Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence, and then we got the Titans. I think that's a first time. I think the Titans have not made the playoffs in this series, but I could be wrong about that. We got the Chiefs, Dolphins. Interesting AFC to say the least. NFC, kind of some regular faces there. Dallas, Green Bay, New York, right? LA. Now Washington, Carolina, Chicago, probably the three teams that I'd see kind of like, that's a little different. We've seen the Jets, we've seen the Browns in the playoffs, we've seen the Chiefs here in this series, but it is kind of funny when you look at this list. Like, you've got the Dolphins, the Jags, the Browns, and the Jets all in the playoffs on the AFC side of things. So things have changed. The winds of change have happened now in 2024 in this Madden series. But guys, that's gonna be it, man. So again, I have not played a single game of the playoffs at this point. So if you have any slider sets that I should go check out for the postseason, please let me know. I want this to be a grind, just like I said in the Alaska Huskies episode. I kind of want these postseason, I want these playoff games to kind of be a little bit more difficult than what they have been in the past. So you let me know what slider sets I need to go check out, and leave those in the comment section. So guys, that's it. Leave a like if you like this thing. Thank you for watching this semi-long video, but it's a lot to get through, an entire season, a lot of things to cover. And this is the kind of the format that we're going to go in with the Giants series. If we make the playoffs, cool, we'll have some gameplay, we'll show it. If not, we'll continue on with another season sim. I want to get to like 7 seasons. This is year number 4. I want to possibly get to like 7 seasons before we call it quits, where Lamar Jackson's contract is done, and then we get to get a real good idea of how your custom prospects have performed in this series. That way you can have some closure with your guys. So other than that, that's all I got for you guys. Again, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one later on this week. As always, peace.